Hello everyone. So what I'd like to do right now is walk you through how to create a very simple logo using vector objects in Adobe Fireworks. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to the vector area and we're going to go to the shape selection, and I would like you to go down to rounded rectangle. Now before we apply the rounded rectangle, I'd like you to hold down the shift key on your keyboard, go to the top left, drag and drop to the bottom right, and release. And remember that the checkerboard area is your canvas, so your logo should take up the majority of the space in your canvas. If we go down to the properties area, I would like you to assign a solid color, and I will allow you to pick any color you want. I'm just going to take a light blue, and then my stroke region, I'm just going to keep it a very, actually I'm going to take a very basic stroke, a hard line, and I'm going to assign a darker color of blue. I'd like you to do the same thing. So if you're picking red, go with a lighter red on the inside and a darker red stroke. If you're going with yellow, same thing. So a light yellow in the fill, a goldy color for the stroke. So this is basically going to be our shape. Now what I'd like you to do is go down to the filter region down here under properties, and we are going to apply a bevel to this shape. So we're going to do an outer bevel, and you will notice that there are other options here: raised, smooth, and as you click these you will see that it will start to change. Assign sloped, and notice that you can modify the amount of the slope, and then you can modify a whole bunch of different things like raised, highlighted, inset. Right. Now remember, logos, simple logos works. Simplicity works. Keep that in mind. So I'd like you to go to your text tool now under the vector region of your toolbox, and we're just going to take your initials, and I'm going to put JL. You will notice that in the layer region we have layer 1, which is a folder. Unlike Photoshop, it works in folders for layers, and we have our rounded rectangle on the bottom and JL on the top. If you take your select tool and select on your JL and shift JL layer underneath the rectangle, you're not going to see it, but you'll see a bounding box here telling you that it's still there. It's just underneath the rectangle. So remember that layers are like pieces of paper. The highest layer is the most visible. So next step here is to assign, again I'm going to click on JL and go down to properties, and the properties will change to text properties, and I'm just going to pick any type of font. There we go, there's one. Manipulate the size. You'll notice that the maximum size for the lever is 96, but you can always just highlight 96 and insert any number. So 150, 300, and then I'm going to shift this towards the center, and I'm going to actually add a little stroke here. So I have a red fill. I'm going to go up here to more options, and I'm just going to assign a darker red like that. Hit OK, and stroke options, and I can actually assign a thicker stroke. Hit OK, and you'll see a little bit of a red stroke around here. Let's try it one more time. Make it a little bit thicker. I'm going to put it to 5 so you can see it. There we go. Now you can also apply a filter to this layer without rasterizing the layer, which is fantastic compared to Photoshop. As soon as you apply a filter, it is no longer a text file, so you can't modify the text. So I'm going to go down here and go to drop shadow, and what drop shadow does is it allows you to add a little black drop shadow to your layer, and then you can play around with how soft you want it, the opacity, and even the angle of your drop shadow. Now remember, you are a media company, so the next step will be another text layer, and I'm just going to put down media. I'm going to highlight the word media, go down to my properties area on here, and reassign. There we go. Now another way of modifying the size of your text instead of going to the properties is using the scale tool. And I'm going to scale it like this. Drop it underneath the J and the L. And there we go. There we have a very easy, very simple logo. The color scheme is restricted to 2 colors, blues and reds. Remember that white and black are not colors. And the next step, we're done. So I would like you to go to File, Save As, and you will need to navigate to your D drive, which is your thawed space, and inside your Digital Voices folder, if you do not have the folder already, you will need to create a Unit 1, and then inside there, an Activity1 folder, and go down here. Let's take a look at the saving procedures for the website, or from the website here. So again, we need to go to digitalvoices.ca, course content, and on the right hand side there's a navigation panel, Activity1. This is a working comp that we're creating right now, so we need to call it first name last name underscore working comp 1. So we're going to go here, and this will be, don't write first name and last name, write down your first name, your last name, working comp 1. We're just going to keep this as a working PNG file. We're not exporting for the web, and we hit save. We are done. Then what I'd like you to do is create a new document, a new working comp. Once you have 2 created, consult with your teacher before you move on to step 5. Thank you.